Yet one more. Come on out with David Leddick. We're having a whole series of these come on out shows. We're very, very lucky because we have performers from the Shaun Dorsey Dance Company that are passing through town, and we grab them up to be interviewed. So this is Noel Simonse, and I'm going to interview him. And Noel, do you want to say a little something about the dance? Do our PR for the dance company first. Where are you going from here?
From here, we have one show here, and then next week we'll be in Boston. In August, we'll be in LA. And in October, we will be in Chicago and Wisconsin.
That's good. Well, that's very national.
Excellent.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
You're very blessed.
We're going to, and they're doing, they have The History of Love is their show, and it's a kind of history of LGBT people they've interviewed and the story of their love histories on stage, which is really interesting because I have a new book coming out, How to Hit 70 Doing 100. At the moment, I'm working on the companion book, Sexercise at 70. I have not eaten anything in about 3 weeks before we dare do the pictures. Any rate, Noel, tell me, I'm going to ask you the same question. How old were you when you realized, actually, there's something going on here with same sex?
Pretty young. I would say even in kindergarten.
Yeah?
I had a friend in kindergarten who was like my best friend, and I remember we would like play around, and I remember him making comments about girls, and I was like, I'm fine. This is...
Then ringing bells.
Yeah, I'm fine with just us.
But I'm going to, for my audience, you're used to everything now, but when I was very young, we had a lot of sex play, actually.
Yeah, I played a lot of doctor.
We played a lot of doctor at 5 and 6, 7 years old out there in Michigan. And I think maybe my period was like a little bit looser than later periods because nobody knew anything about being gay, per se. So people didn't really think about it much. Whatever, parents didn't watch over you, and you did what you felt like doing.
Yeah.
Alice Gustafson and I used to smoke cigarettes behind the barn also. She would steal them from her mother. Anyway, so so how old would you be when you sort of felt like, okay, I'm really feeling something for this guy, and I'm gonna, something's happening. Not that you decided, but something's happening where you are, making some kind of romantic contact more than just physical.
Well, I had a best friend when I was in 3rd grade, who I think I didn't know it at the time, but looking back, I think that I was in love with him. We spent every single day together.
Do you think he felt he was in love with you?
It's funny, he moved away after a 3rd grade year.
Where is he now?
I have no idea.
I think you should find him.
I know. I'd be interested to find out if he's gay or not, because when he moved away, I mean, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Like, I was weeping and crying, and I remember I didn't understand why he had to move away. And,
where were you? Where'd you live?
D.C.
In Washington.
Yeah, or right outside D.C.
And did you spend most of your youth in the same place, or did your parents move around?
Yes. No. I grew up in
one
DC.
place.
Yeah.
So then, so when did you finally? Well, maybe you're not out formally.
I am out.
And when did that happen? And how did you do it? And how about your parents?
Well, it's funny. I came out to my parents later. I came out when I was 15.
That's young.
Yeah, it was pretty.
You were in
young.
high school, like what? Sophomore in high school.
Sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
And I'd come out to all my friends, and so everybody in school knew that I was gay. And it was, I didn't say anything to my parents because I didn't like them at the time. I think I ran away every weekend, and.
So you could be out in high school and your parents didn't know it.
Well, I think they probably knew. It was pretty obvious.
Somebody's parents might have called them.
Yeah, well, I was really goth, so I had long black hair, and I wore a lot of eye makeup to school.
When was this? In the 90s? Not that
late
long
80s,
ago.
Early 90s.
Not that long ago.
I would wear skirts to school with combat boots.
Your poor parents.
So
punishing them.
So it was kind of obvious, and actually, it was my mom. I was in the car with my mom, and Gay Pride was coming up, and she said something to me, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna be gone next week. It's Pride. Don't expect to see me. I'm out of here." And And then she was like, so have you decided? Are you gay? And I was like, yes, I'm gay. Now leave me alone. I hate you. and so that was how I came out to my mom.
She's going straight to heaven.
Yeah, she is actually. She's a saint for putting up with me.
So tell me, before we end, just tell me, how is it you're in the Shaun Dorsey Company that you moved to San Francisco? Where did you study dance?
Well, I went to school in Boston for a while, so I lived in Boston for a while. And then I dropped out of college, and then I moved back to Virginia, which is not a state for queer people at all, the fascist state of Virginia. And my little sister had a boyfriend who lived in San Francisco, and me and my best friend, we hopped on Greyhound, and we rode Greyhound from DC to San Francisco.
And had you studied dance at that time?
Yeah, I actually, I started taking dance when I was pretty young.
Yeah, so you were already trained.
Yeah,
and when you went to San Francisco, how did you meet Shaun?
Well, I was a freelance dancer, and I had seen Shaun's work, and I loved it. And so I ran into him on the street one day, and I said, hey, if you ever need someone, I would love to be in your work. And then a couple years later, he gave me a call.
He did? Yeah, great. Noel Simonse, remember that name. Try to see this company, Shaun Dorsey Dance. A very, very interesting company doing really interesting stuff, okay? Thank you, Noel.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao, bambini. See you soon.
Yeah.